Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Underrail Expedition. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today, as we have somebody running around. It's definitely not scary, and also the cameras don't see me, I like that. What does that gate open? It opens that thing over there. What about this gate? Abyssal Station 0, Research and Development Dome. Authenticating, authorizing, failed. Outdated implant security module version. Please report to the medical office in either residential domes for necessary implant updates or replacement. I suppose punching would work the same. I don't want to break it though. Or hurt my hand for that matter. We got a little bit of hacking to do over here. And yes, we have a person to talk to. I want to talk to him. I can't press escape to get out of the inventory when you right click on one of these things. What do we have? Temporal money. Oh, yes. Well, not so much that one because it's temporal manipulation. But metathermic modulator, on the other hand, I think might be some of the best we have got. Yeah, I'll see about it. I'll see about it eventually, because we're going back home. We have a lot of things still to do in the game before we go to a point of no return. And certainly before we go to a place where... Oh, this is the synthesizer. That's nice. Before we go to a point where getting the best crafted equipment is actually relevant. So, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Please select the item you want to synthesize. The percentage of total medicine chemical content required for synthesis is displayed next to each line. So, basically, I don't remember any of those. I mean, I remember some of those. But basically, you want to get the stuff that you can't get, like hypercerberics. Please collect your item. What do we have? What is hypercerberics? Did I collect the item? Not from there. Or there. We don't need to collect it from here. I suppose I have it already? Let's see. Where are the drugs? There they are. Super soldier drug. Yeah, I think we have hypercerberics. And I just didn't notice. There it is. What is it? Increases your intelligence by 2 for 5 turns. That's nice. It should be for agility. For 5. For 2 turns. But yeah, it's fine. I don't need it. Well, actually, maybe I don't. Our intelligence doesn't, it's just side point regeneration. Oh, that's right, I need to level up. I'll look into that in a little bit. Because I have the notepad, don't worry. So, the third eye, and that's that. What is the third eye? Increases detection by 30% and perception by 3 for the purpose of detect. Yeah, it's not too shabby. But I don't need it. It is rare enough, though. The bullhead, I believe I know what that is. And then we have focus stim, which I have for sure, but let's just... Yeah, we have both of those. Let's see, it's over there. What is bullhead? So focus stim increases critical chance with weapons, so it doesn't matter. Bullhead grants stun and incapacitation immunity, which I don't think matters for me, because I have that thing that allows me to have immunity to stun anyway. So I wonder what happens with bullhead. Do I actually not get dazed when I normally would get stunned? And we get a jumping bean. Oh, this is a bit of a letdown, to be honest. There's not much here that I really care. Dodge and evasion is increased, also movement points while not in stealth. Because while in stealth, you don't have movement points. So it's important to make that caveat over there. So, advanced health hypo. Adrenaline shot. Actually... Adrenaline is really powerful. I rarely use it, but... Yeah, it's really powerful. Just keep at it. Psi booster? Sure. Okay, so everything is gone. We don't have any more of that. And these lockers don't have anything. There are 2 lockers, though. 3 lockers, in fact. What are these? Some vials. I don't need those. And some ampules. Not interested in that. Got a computer in here. Didn't we mess with that computer? Yeah, we did. Wait, what? Did I close the door? Or did I get in from the other side? Maybe I got in from the other side. Anyway, let's look at our level up. And now I have the thing that I need. I also didn't click on the right button. C is not the character screen. We got skills. Well, actually, the skills are a different thing altogether. Let's focus. So we're level 27, I think. Let's focus on our things over here. So we can max these out, which is great. Our intimidation might go up a little bit, just by 1, just to keep it even. Not that I think it matters. I don't think it does, but yeah, it might. So we got a lot of electronics, a lot of biology. I really don't remember any of these being required. We are going to require extra lockpicking, though, for sure. And extra hacking eventually, but for that's our best one for right now, and I think that's good. We can focus on... Well, there was this thing that required mechanics, I think it was. Let's bring our mechanics up, and look at that. 3 of our technology is above 100, so that's pretty nice. And now we have a feat. No, we do not. Don't not. It's specialization. Specialization is very easy because it's just meditation. Another point for maximum psi. Pretty good. I do enjoy maximum psi. Okay, off goes the trainee little man. Trainee? It's the, training. That gate might not open that one. No, there's another one. That gate control, I should say. This gate control is what opens that. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Okay, so we have a volatile fuse box. It's not actually making that much noise, even though it's just this place makes a bunch of noise. So what do we have over here? Security office. Hacking required in these boxes. We have EMP grenade, don't need that. The plasma grenade, I might as well take it. The cabinet, sure, doesn't have it. Anything. Mines. Hacking as well. We have fusion cell, I'll take that. Some interesting pistols. I'm actually pretty sure those are pretty good pistols. But it's fine. That desk for some reason has a red little light. But it's not locked. It's just how it is. It's very confusing. And we have access to a bunch of surveillance monitors. 1. Well, we're seeing things. I think it's just the cameras. Oh, we didn't open that. What do we have? What have I bought? With basically a little bit of energy. Some pistols. Oh. No. It's not that good. I don't think it's that good. Let's see. Capacity is certainly not that good. Very low at 8. Yeah, that sucks. What about this one? Sucks. Okay. High frequency shield emitter. That's only 100 quality, but I'll take it. And the plasma cells, I'll take those as well. Okay. Pretty good. We got a bunch of rubbish. Security cameras for sure, but a bunch of rubbish on the floor. A power substation unit. You can see power levels for the whole station here. Research and development dome has the most power allocated to it out of all the domes, but draws little at the moment. Okay. What? It's not... That's not how power works. I mean, I suppose it is if... there's more things. Because power is watt, right? It's measured in watts. But drawing, when you say drawing something, you talk about intensity. So you're talking about amperage. Yeah, amperage. So if it's a 0 amperage, then either it is an infinite... What's the... volts? Yeah. Either it's an infinite volt, so you can measure... Or not infinite, but very high volt. Well, it's little, so it doesn't... You cannot change the voltage, or generally can't. Anyway, power dome houses 2 hydrothermal generators, both of which are in good condition. Food processing, aquaponics, and manufacturing domes draw no power at all. They are disconnected from the grid. Docking and 2 residential domes are stable, whatever that means. Okay. Well, that was a thing. And we have more signals that really don't matter to me because I just go to wherever everywhere is where I go. I can't talk now. I have to exercise. Wait. Why do I have to exercise? I need to get in shape and be more healthy and be more, I hear father coming. I have to go. I have to exercise. May I speak to your parents? I'll ask. He closes his eyes and, they are in, I can't. They are in Oivinders. But they say you can join them, Miss Outsider. Or they are with, not in, with the Oivinders. Who are the Oivinders? They're my parents-in-law. Lead the way then, or however you want to do this. Ah, Miss Outsider. I really thought I was gonna go to the place. So you're the visitor... wait, what is baritone? Somebody's saying. So you're the visitor the Newmans have been telling us about. Yes, the one the Newmans have been telling us about. It's... Actually, my name is Carrie. The kid got carried away. Sig Oivinder. Asta Oivinder, our daughter Sineva couldn't be present. There's many types of falsettos in here. Ah, yes, we're Shelley and Hangus Newman. Welcome, and we apologize about what you heard during our first encounter, Carrie. Yes, we're sorry if the boy did something embarrassing. He's an imbecile. Angus, forgive our son, Carrie. He's been doing plenty of exercise lately. We'll all make mistakes. We all make mistakes when tired. Isn't that right, Angus? Isn't that right? He just scrambles, apparently. Where are you from, exactly, Carrie? Southgate Station. Another station? Where is that? Oh, do tell us more about the outside. Actually, I'd like to ask you something first. Oh, forgive us for flooding you with questions, please. We haven't had anyone from the outside come to us ever, so we're naturally quite keen on learning what is out there. I hope you understand. Indeed, we are, but all in due time. Feel free to ask any questions you have. Or you may have. I have questions about the station itself. Anything specific in mind? Would you like to know about the other domes? Yeah, what other domes are there? Well, there's docking by the cafeteria, which is where you came from, I suspect. Then there are manufacturing, residential 1, this one, residential 2, food processing, aquaponics, power, and finally, research and development. Yes, research and development. Okay, tell me about research and development. That would be the western exit, but it's locked. It is locked. No one goes there, and no one should go to that dome. Curse it to depths. I can pronounce the word depths very well, sorry. Can it be opened? Of course, our family has access to it. The Newmans are direct descendants of the last technology minister, Theodore Newman, so this family has always had this privilege of station full access. But the Oivinders do too, of course. But that dome is a place of tragic history and possibly great danger, as it hasn't been maintained in a century. I scared the boy away from it real good. You have to drill it into his thick skull, you see. What about manufacturing? It is the largest dome, easily 3 times larger than docking. There was so much space above your head, so much you could stand on someone's shoulders and still have room above. But it was sealed off after a fire many years ago, back when I was a boy. In those days, we could still produce things with the machines that survived the Disunion. By the depths, it was glorious. A network of assembly lines and Autobots, which my father told me back in his grandfather's day, processed materials brought in by sublifters from mining outposts and produced everything we needed, from simple number 1 screws to strongmen and sublifters. Now we have nothing. Nothing. What about the docking dome? You came from there, right? Via a submarine or a subsphere, right? It is, after all, the station's only connection to the outside, the place where our ancestors arrived to their future home after being driven out of their former ones by Biocorp, where the war for them ended. And the same place where yet another war ended. Yeah. Anyway, Gary, the dock hasn't been used since those days, until you arrived, if you did come that way. Yeah. What about this dome over here? Why, you're in it right now. This is where we live. All of us. The Oyvinders have their own room, Angus and I our own, and Todd and Cinna have their own. We spend nearly all of our time here. I work at the doctor's office. Mr. Newman has his workshop, and my wife works here as well. I work here as well. I spend half of my time at the food processing dome, but the rest I spend there or here. There's not much to do elsewhere. Most of the fighting took place here during the Desunion, you know. The cafeteria was where... Oh, I can't. Please forgive me. I don't know why I even started. My shop. Sure. What about the second residential area? It is a dome east of here, similar to this one. It leads to food processing and aquaponics. It was slowly abandoned during the Desunion, as there weren't many people left at the station. All that free space. But after the boy messed up at the aquaponics, we don't let him go there anymore. Angus, it was difficult to maintain, and the walls have corroded. And the smell and the filth, we only use the main hallway anyway. I've never... And she shrugs, apparently. Oh, she does, because this is not a phone call. This is Todd doing things. I never lived there. Never, never. And that incident, it could have happened to anyone. Like that fire in manufacturing. It was an accident. Damn it, woman. Have you forgotten? The fire was started by a maniac who wanted to kill himself. Damned he be to the bottom of the abyss. He killed my father. Angus? Shelley? Please calm down. Yes, Angus, control yourself. We have a guest. Fruit processing dome? Well, food processing and aquaponics are two sections of a single dome. Yes, think of it this way. Or that way. Either way, you think of it. It's where I work. The aquaponics is a wonderful self-contained automated system which unifies breeding aquatic life with growing plants, all for our nourishment. And all of this is processed at the other parts of the dome, and that is my job. I make sure that what we're eating is up to the highest standards. And the boy sent it all to depths, single-handedly. Why is why Bass? He didn't send anything to the depths. I asked him to keep an eye out for the leak while you were busy repairing the door to our room. You remember, don't you? And he flooded the whole damn dome. The pipe burst. Why must you be so difficult, woman? The boy was tampering with the pressure controls on the console to fix the leak. Then he started turning the valves to fix what he fixed. The uncoordinated idiot. Then he super taped what he fixed by playing with the valves, and then it all went to the depths. You remember that, Shelley, don't you? Angus. No, wait, who's this? Oh, yeah. Angus. My son is not a lunatic roaming around the station sabotaging everything. If he was there, it was because I needed his help. He did what you said, but he had no to because you weren't there. Now I don't want to talk about this anymore. You're embarrassing us in front of everyone. Stop it, don't you care? We have enough food to last us a long time. I keep mixing up the who's talking where, but anyway. Because there's a horse baritone and there's a horse falsetto. Anyway. We have enough food to last us a long time. We'll pump the water out and restore the dome and forget about all this. Yeah, it doesn't really matter the voices. Only Angus is really distinguishing himself as a hysterical lunatic, really. But anyway, or not necessarily. Well, they're probably all really screwed up in the brain. So they're probably all lunatics the way they're controlling Todd over here. But maybe they're not controlling Todd. Maybe Todd is a cyborg. She turns to you. Todd does. Please forgive us for this digression. Yeah, sure. You've been digressing since I started here. Please continue, because that's what I'm here for. The power dome. I just shout words at Todd and things happen. That would be the southern exit, but it's sealed. Our power generators are there. There's no way to repair them if they malfunction. No more spare parts, and the last one who knew how to service them was Shelley's old man, but they do work well still. That's why we don't want the boy going there. The substation units allow us to monitor and control the power levels, but the hydrothermal generators themselves are made to last. Thanks. Carrie, excuse me. Why are you here exactly, if you understand? I don't understand. What? I'm looking for something called the Acorn. The spelling doesn't really matter. Do you know anything about it? Acorn? No. What is it? All I know is that it's a pre-Great War technology that's somehow connected to certain machines capable of traversing great distances, even reaching the surface. That's, beyond outside. The surface? High technology, Angus. I don't know anything about it, child. By the depths. If it's important and if it's here, then it has to be at the Research and Development Dome. That's where all important technology was brought during the Great War. My ancestors were researchers in the dome, but I've never been told anything about this Acorn. It could have been taken during the Disunion. It is possible, or it might just have been forgotten. And what do you intend to do if you find the Acorn? Are you going to leave and that's it? Are more outsiders going to come here? Oh, I have to clean up the dome. What about us? Yeah, I'll return with a group of people who are going to take care of you. Oh my. Carrie, we cannot leave this station. It is difficult to explain. Too late. But our children, you see, Todd and Cena, problems here. I mean, it's a different world outside, but maybe, Todd's facial expression no longer corresponds to a single character, and he falls silent. This lasts for a few moments as his stare slowly drops down. Yes, we'll discuss this later. Where were we? We were. Let's see. I'd like to know more about you. Well, we'll go first if the Oivinders don't mind. Where to start? We're descended from the Lemurians, which obviously found their refuge here. Refuge from Biocorp. The Newmans were reputable architects, you see. They were the ones who designed Lemuria, and Theodore Newman was the last technology minister. A powerful man who surely would have become the prime minister if things hadn't turned out the way they did. Meanwhile, I'm a direct descendant of the great composer Kurt Ryluck. Yes, although there aren't many family names left anymore. As my father used to say, make sons unless you want your last name extinct. He even laughs, apparently. A fate which befell most sub-islanders. Most of our family names were lost due to old family name inheritance laws that apparently are... Oh, this was before they died. Completely lost. Yes, but our family name has survived to this day, and so did yours. To this day. That's a conversation about family names. That tells us nothing, because we don't know who they are. And also, it raises the question about, how are they descendants? Like, they can't be a whole colony. You can't have a whole colony of, like, 5 people. For like, many reasons. Are you really the only ones here? No servants to help you? Apparently that's the question. You don't have servants? But how does your bed get made? Our 2 families are the only ones here. The only ones. Most servants were destroyed during the Disunion, and we had no means of replacing certain components for the ones that remained operational. I do manage to activate a strongman from time to time and when need be, but they don't last very long and I have to mix and match working components between them. Yes, we used to have a modded handmaiden. Maudie, apparently, her name was. She had some strongman parts, but only interior. She acted as a nanny of sorts for Todd and Cinna. You see, when they were little, just watched over them and did simple tasks. Naughty. The old gal is still around, but I had to deactivate her after she malfunctioned. Oh, don't remind me, Angus. Don't. Todd couldn't sleep for a week. Yes, you see, Carrie, strongman power is similar yet different to the handmaiden. Angus... Oh, Angus, don't bring us back to that unpleasant moment, especially not in front of our guest. Sure, of course. Let's talk about the outside. That would be lovely indeed. First, how much do you actually know about the outside? That what's there to know, Carrie? It's nothing but filthy water. Presumably our guest is wondering if we know what about what's above all the water, beyond what we can see through our windows or have been told of our grandparents. Yeah, well. Wait, you don't have pictures or any kind of data from the past? Not as much as we'd like. A long time ago there was a great energy emission that wiped almost all the data from the central database out. Documents, pictures, video files, barely anything survived. Barely, or so we rely on the few bits that survived the Great War. The aforementioned emission, the Zunion, and everything up until now, we rely on those and artistic renditions of what things might be like outside. These people are extremely well adapted for people who have lived in isolation their entire life and never had contact with... I say well adapted, I really don't... It's not the word, that's not the word. They're extremely normal. Let's just put it like that. They're like the persons that you would expect to live in a bigger society. It's like, yeah, they know what art is. They don't know what a rendition, artistic rendition is. Although, anyway, that's not even a point of contention here. It's just like they're yeah. How do you imagine the outside then? I like to think all this water is in a large room. A room so large you could spread your arms and run around and not bump into anything. There's a tower in the middle, a tower with a blue light at the top. I saw that in a painting. Well, maybe Biocorp destroyed it, but then again, maybe they didn't. Biocorp destroys everything. I don't know. My father told me there's no ceiling above the water, just one big empty. What would you see when you look up? Nothing. Oh, nothing. All black, I think. Some people were talking about... Yeah, I remember it clearly. They were talking about there being a big natural light up there. Dome-sized, even bigger. But that ought to be the light on the tower Shelley mentioned. It ought to be. We all know from experience that if you want light, you have to make a light source. Light doesn't just shine out of nothing. With that I can agree, says Baritone, prolonging the joke that was all too obvious in the first sentence for way too long. I just realized we never actually discussed anything like this before. How exciting. Asta, what do you think is up there? My god, they're doing it. Almost everything is water, says the other person. And on that water there are stations. Some are under the water, but most are above. Your people like stations above water, while we, sub-islanders, like stations underwater. It explains the physiological differences between our two people. Besides, we know that the sub-islanders came from Atlantis to Lemuria many years ago before moving here. It does make sense. As for the question of how we imagine the world above, there is some land there. We know that. Islands. There's a bit of land. These bits of lands are called islands. That's what I said. There are stations there, too. In general, people live in stations. It's warm, safe from whatever creature lives outside. It has to be cold outside. I can't imagine the size of heaters it would take to warm that kind of space up. And it's probably unsanitary. Yeah, I never let Todd touch anything unclean. He catches all sorts of things, but he's a good boy, and he listens when I tell him to wash his hands or take a bath. You're overreacting, Shelley. It's his immunity. Do you want him to get ill, Angus, do you? Immunity? Did I misread that? Carrie, how about you tell us what it's really like outside? Oh, yes, please. Yeah, up there... There's a large doming cavern above the sea, but there's also plenty of land. The land is populated by various groups of people fighting each other for all the time. Although, not all the time, really. You might not know what hyperbole is. That's what I'm using. And also, telling you the name of what it is also not useful. But anyway, there's soldiers, pirates, savages. Savages, fascinating. By the depths, that's unimaginable. Life is so dangerous outside, and I can't imagine how unclean it must be. I'd like to see the outside, but it's safer here. Much safer and cleaner. Well, I'm gonna have to ask them other things, but not right now, because we're out of time. So let's ask about the Desunion next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Underrail Expedition. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.